Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to be playing Choice of the Pirate. I'm looking at it on the screen. I didn't have it on the top of my head because I was thinking about what I was actually going to be saying, which is I'm actually really surprised that people are enjoying these series that I have. Because, I mean, I did Champion of the Gods, which was by Jonathan Velokas. I really enjoyed playing that one. And then there was Choice of Robots, which was by Kevin Gold, PhD, which I also really enjoyed. And now I'm going to be playing Choice of the Pirate by Elena Jolie Abbott. I got some feedback on some of my videos not too long ago, and people are apparently enjoying these, and I was surprised because I didn't expect them to be something that I did really on my channel. I just kind of one of them went on sale. I decided to get it. I enjoyed it. I'm not entirely sure what possessed me to even record it, but I did. And then somebody said that they wanted some more, so I got a few dollars on my Steam and I got the other one. And this is actually the second most popular sort of series. I mean, they're individual series, but they're still all of the Choice of Games series. So I figured I'd go ahead and play another one for you guys here because people actually seem to be enjoying these for some reason, even though there is no graphics or anything like that. It's only my voice, and the only reason I have the face cam is because that's the point of my videos, is so that after I die, people who are descendants of me can look and see. So, I mean, I would assume that people aren't just straight up watching this. It's something that you kind of like play in the background because that's how I watch YouTube videos. I kind of have them on my screen over here or over here while I'm doing something over here or over here. And talking about these games, it's actually really interesting though because it doesn't require me to do any real editing to it at all because there's always something for me to say. There's no cutout parts because you end up missing something. And if I happen to be talking about something or anything really and I come to a blank, I can just start reading off the screen here. So actually really good games to play. I don't really like doing a ton of editing. Well, I shouldn't say that. I do enjoy editing videos. The problem that I have is that I don't have a really good video editor. Uh, Basically, I just don't really have a whole lot to edit. Anyway, since I've run out of things to talk about, we're going to go ahead and jump into the game. Um, so, Choice of the Pirate. Obviously, I'm a pirate or something, and we're going to go ahead and do what I would do in these situations as much as possible. So, there's going to be the primarily pacifist attitude going into this. And hopefully we'll get to woo some people. Actually, let's check the stats real quick. So we will get a name, a moniker, we'll get a flagship, a flag. We'll have some signature clothing. It says ye, your skills, your reputation. That's cute. So fame is at 10%. We've got a pistol and swords, cambiar, skullduggery, parlay, and sailing. We've got ruthless yet honorable, greed yet good-willed, greedy and good-willed, privateer or a pirate. I've got 10 doubloons to my name. That's cool. I have 0 ships in my fleet. I have no lover. We can woo people. And my relationships. There's Caesar Lord, somebody, 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 El Sabio, the Crown, and my crew. Well, I'm a pirate. Obviously, the Crown is going to be high. Would privateer go up with the crown, or well, I could see them definitely coming up different. Oh, Landlubber's Guide to the Terms. Okay, so ones that I haven't really seen: Cambiar, knack for changing the world around you through magic. Okay, so Cambiar is magic. Skullduggery, sneakiness. Parlay is diplomatic, so that's going to be pretty high. And set sail, your ability to navigate. Is there a... Oh, it's sailing, but it says set sail. It's not the same thing. Do you primary side with the crown? Okay, so crown is privateer. And yep. Alright then. We're going to go ahead and start up with the game then. A cannonball hits the water astern your ship's hull. The resulting splash soaks your clothing. You drag your sleeves across your forehead, succeeding only in spreading the water around. Caesar Lord, my closest friend, huge dark-skinned pirate who towers over you, the rest of your crew. Okay. Could be worse, says the unflappable Caesar Lord, your closest friend, a huge dark-skinned pirate who towers over you and the rest of the crew. They could have better aim. Your ship's last loaded cannon fires, drowning him out for the moment, fouling the air with smoke and brimstone. I pause in weird places. I'll get better at this as I'm reading. Luckily, the cannon didn't explode. Unfortunately, your cannonball also missed, and now you're out of gunpowder. Sorry if I end up yawning. I don't know why I end up yawning when I talk a whole lot. It's just apparently the difference in breathing while I'm doing the. I'm just gonna keep reading. "Yeah, call that a hit, you landlubbers!" screamed your captain, the notorious and cruel Captain Blackguard. It's unfounded criticism. Even he must know that the way the ships are closing on each other, there's no clear shot for a broadside, and for that you should all be grateful. Fucking yawning. Damn it. "Prepare to board, you scurvy knaves, and make your peace with Davy Jones, for you'll either send our enemies to him or see him yourself." The flag on the ship trading fire with yours bears a skull and crossbones with a rose clutched in its grinning teeth. It's the flag of Captain Adelaide Briar. But why do you recognize it? I tried to sign on to her crew. The Crown despises her, and so do I. Captain Blackguard told us we're after her ransom. I feel like Captain Blackguard would definitely try to... Well, he's notorious and cruel. He's probably an idiot as well. So, she's definitely a better captain than him. So it would make sense for me to try to sign on to her crew. But I don't know why I would be on Blackguard's crew then if it didn't work out. But then at the same time, it would make sense for him being an idiot to try to go after her even though she's got better stuff. And it would also explain why I'm on his crew. So Captain Blackguard told us we're after her ransom. And really, what the captain says is the guiding force in your life at this point, like it or not. The Crown, in its ongoing efforts to rid the Lucayan Sea of pirates, has put bounties on pirate ships, setting pirates against each other in hopes of making legitimate money, or earning their pardons and letters of marque. Blackguard and Captain Adelaide Briar have a long history. The stories told in the port of San Alfonso, the pirate haven a few miles south, say they were once lovers until Blackguard's obsession with finding the treasure of Ishmael the Lost came between them. Briar mutinied against Blackguard, stole his ship and crew, and marooned him. Other stories put Blackguard as less of a victim, claiming that he went mad with rage and he found out Briar had hidden a map from him that would have led him to the treasure, nearly killing her and half his crew before coming to his senses. When he's out of hearing, other pirates call him Blackguard the Bloody. Blackguard is nearly obsessed with destroying Briar as he is with finding Ishmael's legendary treasure. She was an obvious choice for his first bounty target. "Wind round, north to east," Blackguard shouts, and your crew tacks as the ship's cambiante, your weather mage, calls a gust of wind, bringing the ship nearly side by side. "No mercy!" Blackguard screams. The ships groan in protest as their hulls collide. Caesar, who despite ship's tradition has long insisted you call him by his first name, claps you on the back. "See you on the other side," he says, and is both a promise and a command. "Wouldn't miss it," you say lightly. Caesar grins and he takes a leap across on the enemy's ship, not bothering with the grappling hooks your mates use to draw the ships together. Pirates of Briar's crew swing over from their rigging, and it won't be long before both ships have erupted into combat. And there you are, standing at the rail. How do you get into this mess? Mess, this is what I live for. Piracy, a life of freedom and plunder. I took a job with Blackguard to avoid being arrested by the Crown. I hired on with Blackguard to avoid being conscripted into the Navy. I was captured by pirates as a youth and haven't found a way to free myself. Blackguard gave me the option to sign his crew or walk the plank. I feel like it would be more towards the bottom. I'm going to say that I was captured by pirates as a youth because, I mean, arrested by the crown, that wouldn't matter. Don't live life of freedom and plunder. If I was given the option to sign in or walk the plank, well, they don't actually walk planks. I don't know why the hell people are talking about that like that. No. Avoiding the Navy would kind of make sense. I mean, the Navy would be a lot more regulated and they would have messed up rules and stuff like that, which, I mean, pirates do have some messed up rules anyway, but the Navy, I would assume, would be a little bit worse. Oh, fucking yawns. Damn it. I was captured by pirates of the youth and haven't found a way to free myself. Next. Life aboard ship has been hard for you, and you often long for something with a little less danger and a little more in the way of regular meals. You'll never know how you might have grown up if you'd lived in the respectable lands ruled by the crown. You don't remember much before your years aboard ship, and you know you're lucky to have survived to be the age you are. There was a moment when you worked as a powder monkey when you were convinced you might not make it, but you had fortune on your side, fickle lady that she is. At least until you ended up serving Captain Blackguard. What a miserable ship's master he is. If you had enough gold to buy your own ship and get out of your contract with Blackguard, you know you'd be a much better captain than he is, and really, gold and freedom are all it takes to be a pirate captain, which is why there's such a low bar for entry. What is it you despise most about Blackguard? His cruelty to my shipmates, his stingy sharing of our plunder. He's just not a very skilled pirate. Probably cruelty. 'Cause that's bullshit. The violence Blackguard doles out so casually to his own crew is hard to accept. He flogs sailors for the slightest offense, or for no offense at all other than being the captain's path when he's in a rage. You've been on the wrong end of his beatings only a few times, while Caesar has taken more than his share. You tried to convince your friend that it's not his duty to protect the other sailors, and he always assures you that this time will be the last time he stands between the captain and his sailors, until, of course, the next time. And you end up dressing his wounds after the fact. Oh, I'm such a nice friend. The two of you have long agreed that something should be done about your cruel master, but you've both fallen short of suggesting a mutiny. It might be easier to stomach Blackguard's violent excesses if he were a good captain, or if you could get rich serving him, but he's not an inspiring leader nor a competent sailor. Which of his traits frustrates you the most? He's a bully, but his combat skill lacks finesse. He's about as sneaky as a cannonball. He wouldn't know diplomacy if it bit him. He's frankly an awful sailor. He doesn't even understand what our cambiante, our weather mage, does. We're going to say he wouldn't know diplomacy, because diplomacy is important even if you're a pirate. In the romances, a pirate captain has a certain amount of charm, charisma. Courtiers swoon and merchants quiver with fear when the captain speaks, but when Blackguard jokes, people cringe. When he talks to other captains, he belches his responses. He's as slick as a wire brush and sharp as a caulking mallet, which is to say, he's neither. The fact that another captain hasn't gone after the bounty on Blackguard for his sheer obnoxiousness is astounding. Maybe today will be the day Blackguard meets his fate. But in the meantime, you've got to be sure you don't head off early into yours. Two of Briar's pirates swing onto deck next to you. You've no time to clear the rail into Briar's ship next to Caesar. You're in the middle of a battle. What do? My pistol and cutlass are already drawn to battle. I use magic to fight unconventionally. All is fair in combat, especially cheating. I use my knowledge of the ship to my advantage. I try to talk my way out of combat. Let's see, show stats. So my parlay went up, but I've noticed a lot of times you can have a good skill for something, but it's not always what is necessary. So I think if I were to choose two of these, I would be Cambiar and Parlay. So for this one, why don't we use magic to fight unconventionally? We could like summon some water up over the ship and like brush them off real quick and not kill them. They'll just be on the water for a little while. And talking your way out of combat with pirates doesn't seem like it's going to work very well anyway. Cambiantes like you don't usually use their art in combat. It's mostly for weather, healing, or finding things. You're a fair hand with the art, but since you're not Blackguard's senior weather mage, to him you're just a sailor like everyone else. And you've been in enough battles by now to hone your skills in unconventional ways, such as using a puff of wind to blow the aft sails boom into your attackers. You duck and the boom flies over your head, knocking your enemies into the drink. Though your battle took only seconds, the scene around you has changed in the meantime, and the air is full of gunpowder. Your puff of wind forced both ships to tack, changing the sails for Briar's crew and your own. The pirates on both vessels staggered to keep their balance. It's not yet to anyone's advantage besides your own. You see Blackguard engage in a duel with one of Briar's pirates, a tall woman who is Briar's first mate, you guess. Near the steering wheel, not far from you. Blackguard is hard-pressed. Maybe he has really met his match this time. Unfortunately, if he dies, Briar might turn the crew to the crown for Blackguard's bounty. Let's go ahead and show my stats real quick. So, oh, my Cambiar went way up for that one. That's cool. If Blackguard and the mate both die, that's 2 problems solved. I don't care what happens to the crew as long as Blackguard is killed. I'll defend my captain at the end. I'm not mutinous, so I guess we'll defend Blackguard since I'm stuck in his crew. You're a loyal member of his crew, and even if Blackguard's a disgrace to pirates everywhere, he's your captain. Also, you don't want to die, and there are always ways that saving the captain's life could turn to your advantage. Yeah, he could give me my freedom. And pay me more. The question becomes, just how will you intervene to save his life? Like I handle most problems with my sword, I use my magic to rot the deck beneath my foot. That's cool. I want to do that. I sneak up on Briar's mate and club her from behind. I stamp on one end of a loose plank to trip the captain's foe. All the captain needs is a moment's distraction. I hurl insults at Briar's first mate. I don't feel like rotting the deck beneath them would do a whole lot, and I don't know why she would listen to us, but I want my parlay to go up more, that way I can convince people of shit later, so we'll give a distraction. There's nothing like a few well-placed insults to derail diplomatic relations. This same thing works in combat. You shout out rude comments about Briar. Her first mate's loyalty to her captain is admirable and easy to manipulate. She hears your shouts and turns, just long enough for Captain Blackguard to stab her in the back. Oh, that worked! Blackguard took a moment to assess the rest of the battle before approaching you. Good work, sailor, he says, and you can tell that, despite his good cheer, he doesn't recall your name, and though the grime and salt caked on your tunic, he's not entirely sure of your gender either. That's how I intend it. I'm a trap, sure. I'm a woman, I'm a man. I don't see myself as either woman or man. People used to see me as a woman, but I'm a man. People used to see me as a man, but I'm a woman. I am a man. Thank you. What is your given name? I don't like these names. Let me create my own. We'll go with Bam. Deckar, the pirate. And what is your family name? We'll go with Morgan, because that's my uncle's name. One day, with enough fame or infamy, you will earn a moniker, but for now, you are only Benstakar Morgan, a lowly sailor your captain couldn't be bothered to remember. Actually, it doesn't sound like a bad name. But the way he's looking at you now, you can tell he'll remember what you've just done. You hear the familiar sound of incantations in the old island language. My pur? I'm going to call it my pur. As both your Cambiante and the Cambiante on Briar's ship chant to try to control the water and sky around you. Dueling winds never bode well for the sailors between, and this time was no different. Before either you or Captain Blackguard can leap back into the fray, a terrible scream of grinding hulls cuts across the decks. The winds push the ships into each other. That's got to be a terrible noise. Just the sound of that. Have you ever had like nails, really long nails that you put into wood, and then you like try to pull them out, and they make like that sound as it's like coming out? That's probably like what the ships are doing, except there's like louder crashes too. So if you had like gunfire going off right next to your ear, and then more gunfire from the ship cracking against itself and like causing the ground to go underneath you, and then making that sound as well, or If you don't know that that sound of the nail, which I would assume more people would know than what I'm about to say, if you've ever seen Galaxy Quest, at one point they try to pull the ship out and it just grinds against the wall of the larger ship or something like that, and yeah, it's just that entire time. So if you imagine that, but a lot more, if you imagine that a lot louder and like really really close, like if you were actually inside that part of the ship that was grinding. Never mind. You hear the blah 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 blah. The winds do not stop. The ships push into each other, and the air tears at their hulls until it's clear that both ships are going to shake themselves to pieces. Abandoning ship is the only thing to do, but rather than ordering the crew to flee, Blackguard is swearing up a storm, cursing at his now unconscious Cambiante to fix things. The air holding you to the deck releases, and you have time to move, but where will you go? Blackguard's cabin to save the charts, below deck to make sure everyone gets out, the cargo hold to retrieve the treasure I can save for myself, the dinghy, get me out of here. Let's go see if we can save some people. What will that do? Oh, ruthless and honorable. Did I get more ruthless or less ruthless? Yeah, I think I got less ruthless. So my honorable is at 65 right now. Let's go below deck to make sure everyone gets out and see what happens. That didn't do anything. I think my goodwill went up for that one. I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention to that. I'm dumb. Okay, most of the crew were on deck for the battle, but it's possible somebody's still on the berth deck, or worse, hiding in the hold. You can't, in good conscience, abandon ship while there might still be people on her. The deck trembles beneath your feet as you stumble down the ladder to get below decks. The berth deck isn't faring much better. You can see the leaks already springing through the hole, and the groan of the wood beneath you makes it clear she's not going to last much longer. You list through the galley like a seasick landlubber and spot the ship's cook cowering amongst pots and pans. There isn't anyone else in the aft end of the berth deck unless they're hiding in the captain's cabin behind a locked door. Get on deck, you yell at the cook, but he doesn't seem to hear you. Yell at him to get on deck and keep looking for more people. I force him above. I offer comforting words and walk with him to the ladder. I'm not gonna be... Just get the fuck on deck, bro. Get on deck, you mangy sea dog, you shout at the portly old sailor, mimicking Blackguard's voice. Oh, I Get on deck, you mangy sea dog! Okay. All the cook needed was someone to talk sense, and you've done that in exactly the stern voice he needed. He stumbles to the ladder, and you're confident he'll make it off safely as anyone else. Where do you look for others? Let's go to... Well, the choices are captain's cabin, 4 crew berths, cargo hold, and I've done enough. Let's go check the cargo hold. Cargo hold has taken the brunt of the damage from the duel of the Cambiantes, and the small space is difficult to navigate even in the best of times. Is anyone down here? You shout, and you're surprised to hear a shout to the aft. Help! It's hard to see in the darkness, but you think it's the cabin boy, a lad named Jim. I'm coming, you call, and you press onward, despite the way the cargo has tumbled out of its bindings. When you reach him, your stomach tightens. He's wedged beneath a barrel of fresh water, and it looks as though he's trying to squeeze his way out. He's stuck fast. The ship's shuddering is coming faster now, and there's not much time to get back above. I have to leave him. There's no time to save his life and my own. I use magic to shift the water in the barrel like a wave. I push it off him. I break the barrel to let the water out. Let's use the magic to shift the water. Achievement, Lifesaver. Apparently I saved him. My cambiar went up a little bit. Making water move is one of the simplest changes that cambiantes make. You chant, the water sloshes, and the barrel rolls off of Jim. Thankfully, he's not badly injured, and he can stumble almost as well as you can. The two of you make it aloft with almost no time to spare. There's enough dinghies to get everyone off the ship, so you suppose it's lucky that so many pirates' bodies litter the deck. That's not good. You don't look to see how many of them are your crewmates and how many are your foes. You and Jim have enough to worry about. The last dinghy is being lowered over the side, and the two of you dash aboard. As the dinghy splashes down into the water, the pirates lowering her jump aboard. The pirates lowering her jumps aboard. They jump. I feel like that shouldn't be jumps. It should be jump. Jump aboard, landing lightly on her toes. What? Oh, it's a single pirate. Never mind. Okay, yeah, the pirate lowering her jumps aboard, landing lightly on her toes, grinning all the while. Can't say we see the likes of that again, she says cheerfully, unfazed by either combat or destruction. I'll be just as glad if I never do, mutters Caesar, surprisingly solemnly for the aft seat in the dinghy. From the aft seat. Damn it. His huge arms are already muscling the oars into action, pulling away from the wrecks before they can suck you down. You take up an oar as well, and soon all of you are rowing towards the port of San Alfonso. Where the heck did the female one come from? Pirate lowering her jumps aboard, landing on her toes. What? The wrecks of the two ships finally sink below the horizons as your dinghies arrive at the port several hours later. There may have been a few times when you've been happier to have solid ground beneath your feet, but you're hard-pressed to think of one. Captain Blackguard is issuing orders to his remaining crew. At a dock much farther down, you see Briar doing the same to hers. You've lived to fight another day, but it looks like there'll be no escape from your contract with Blackguard yet. His sharp eyes find you in the crowd, and he gives you a subtle nod. So even if you still have to work for him, it's possible your situation will improve. Possible. But there might be an escape for the cabin boy. I never want to go back to that sea for as long as I live, he whispers to you. I'm off, and with luck Blackguard will never find me. You can be sure that I'll tell the bravery Bents to Carmorgan as long as I live. He squeezes your forearm. Thank you. And then he's gone into the crowd. You suspect you'll never see him again. For his own sake, you hope not. So here you are, back in the port you left earlier today. If the captain has any kindness in his soul, which you doubt, you'll be headed to the Black Dog for a drink or some music. You can always hope. Well, he said he's going to talk about me. Yep, so my fame went up a little bit for saving him. And my parlay and my cambiar are both up. I don't know how my parlay got up quite so high. I could have swore it was less than my cambiar. My goodwill is up there. Oh, it went up by 1%, I think, this last time. And then my honorable is up, and my privateer is up. That's good. And Jim is not one of these people on here, but Caesar the Lord is, so I might still be dealing with him for quite a while. Anyway, I will see you guys next time in Chapter 2.